Okay, okay. You... Maps number 2. Boom! Okay. Where did my phone go? Please, come here. Please, come here. Okay, cool, 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 cool. We're gonna make sure everything's up and running on YouTube. Listen, we're only like 10 minutes late. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, considering I only got power back like 20 minutes ago. That's not bad at all. Okay? We got this. There's nothing to be that worried about, okay? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's an ad. Nice. YouTube is up and running. Let's pop up Twitch. Boop. Make sure everything's up and running on Twitch. Whew. That ain't me, Chief. Put me in, Coach. I love that it was like, hey, you're streaming. And I'm like, I know. Can I see? And they're like, no. Whew, Twitch is also up and running. Give me 1 sec. And now we are good to go. Oh, boy. Woo. Okay. We're good. Everything's good. Don't need to be stressed. Power's back. For those of you that don't know, haven't seen any of the posts, something or someone took a telephone pole out down the street from my house, so I didn't have power. And then we went out to eat because there was no power. And I was thinking of making chili. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. My family was like, you know what? Let's just go out. So we did. And here we are. And I'm like, I didn't get a chance to pick the music for tonight. So I had to use my music. I mean, I normally use the D&D music overhaul sheet to pick the music. But for this specific one, I was like, oh, crap. I didn't do it beforehand. So I'll be doing it a little bit old school, like I used to. I heard the bloop from my desktop, which means the voice is not set up right. Of course it's not, because that would be helpful. Why would you make that helpful? Why would it be
set up? That would only make sense.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, consistency is hard.
Okay. I am happy to see you have power.
Me too. Ugh. Me too. They're actually still down the street, so I may just lose power again. I can still see their flashing lights. And like, because they're just below the crest of the hill where I am, so I can still see that there are still 2 poles.
Well, hopefully your power holds. However, folks, if the stream cuts short, just know that Okami lost power, and we're just gonna call the stream there. I think that's gonna just be fair.
We're doing our best.
Also, I got introduced yesterday to a new flavor of liquid death called Dr. Death.
No, it's not Dr. Death. Grimbo brought over the weekend whatever the berry one is. It has a nut. It's like quench your thirst berry or something.
Yeah, I've had that one too. Dr. Death is their Dr. Pepper infused.
Oh, you have my attention.
Actually, it tastes like seltzer at times, but or like sparkling water, but at the same time, it actually tastes like Dr. Pepper, but not like water Dr. Pepper. I'm actually impressed.
I am too. I haven't actually tried the berry one. He brought it in, and he was like, "You have to try this now," and I was like, "Okay," but I didn't actually try it yet. Yeah, if I got to drink I mean, I don't understand the allure of the regular liquid death, like when it's just canned water, but like the seltzer ones are not bad.
I don't know why I like it. All right. Hey. I can't explain that to you, but I enjoy it.
I'm also like not gonna lie to any of you out there. If I guess I've evolved as a human being because I should
Well,
have been like totally freaking out that we were late and that I wasn't going to get ready on time. But I'm actually pretty chill about it, all things considered. Normally I'd be like, "You get ready," like white knuckling the keyboard and the mouse, but no.
look at that growth.
Like, oh well, I don't have electric powers, so it's not like I could zzz and make it happen out of my hands.
I mean, if you did, we wouldn't tell people like this. This
Also
would
true.
not be
Also true. That would not be how we gave it away.
like this would be the worst reveal.
Mm.
Like, hey folks, sorry I'm late. I had to activate my hidden power to generate and conduct kinetic energy, thus creating static electricity to restart all the electricity in my house.
They just hear me huffing and puffing throughout the stream, and it's because I'm like running in my own little hamster wheel.
You're running your own hamster wheel to run over to like zap to zap like a transformer. Yeah. Do like a mini Palpatine. Get it! And then run back.
Unlimited power! What's up, Dex? I'm alive. I made it back.
It's
We got back like
semi-limited
10 minutes ago, and we saw the light was on in the dining room, and we were like, oh, because they're still down the street doing stuff. I don't know what they're doing, but they're still there, and there's still a whole bunch of emergency vehicles. And like I can see over the crest of my hill that there's 2 poles there now, and they're not straight up in the air, so I don't. We may lose power during the stream, but we're here right now. I also won't lie to any of you. I almost messaged the Roundtable and was like, one of you can run the stream. And then I was like, how are they going to run the stream? It's through my stream key. I was like, damn it.
that would have been DM Lacara and I would have had like an executive call on the side. Like, what? Like, what did he say? So you heard it too, right? Okay. Okay, it wasn't just me.
Whoops. Ooh. Mm. Wait, okay. I have mod view on now, so I can see that you have like the big mod thing. Can I look at regular thingy? I want to see what. Oh no, it just always shows the big moderator thing? Okay. I'm happy. And I gotta put more. I'm pretty sure that there is a way. What? What's happening? Oh my god. You didn't have to do that. Oh, we're earning. Oh, the hype train is here again. Oh my god. Ace! I see Ace, you're in here. The Kugel Blitz! I remember that. I mean, I probably don't know that person specifically, but okay. Oh my god. I also realize what's happening here. It's because, yep. Hold on. Okay. That's what was happening to the music and the notification sounds. They were being played by default, which was not my headset. This is, oh my, Dex, you don't, oh my god, Dex, you didn't,
You can't hear it, but he's currently malfunctioning.
Oh, the fellow creator's here. And by fellow creator, I mean someone who's put way more work into creating things for the D&D community. I made a joke to my players over the weekend that I'm pretty sure once I release it to other people that my like crowning the only thing people will know me for submitting and people using in the community are my stupid alchemy alcohols, my alchemicahols. I'm like, that's gonna be my lasting addition to the D&D community. And like those are pretty much done. I just have to make a little sheet for them. I should probably do that sometime soon.
With tables?
Ooh, I could make a nice little table. Tables I can make on home brewery. That I can do.
Everybody loves a good table.
But tonight we're looking at some maps, which is a thing that we've only looked at once before. And because we'd only looked at it once before, I was trying to like figure out what a good amount is. Because listen, I am doing like bits of research here and there on like what people are watching, like what time frames work out for us as a group. But because we haven't done enough maps yet, I wasn't sure. But I know we had a 6-part map last time, so I feel like there's enough room in there for me to fit in a bunch of maps here and there. And then the last one today, I'm hoping Clubs comes on and joins us for, because I think he will get a big kick out of it specifically, because it's how to make a mega dungeon in a pinch.
I think is it in black and white? That's all I need to know is a mega
What?
dungeon.
You guys! Oh my god, what is happening?
Oh my.
Oh, come on. You guys don't. Oh, there's so many people. What is happening? Oh my god.
Well, this was unexpected. That's for sure.
I'm crying.
Stop crying.
Oh. You guys don't have. You guys are
Oh, he's
awesome.
malfunctioning.
Mm.
You guys can't understand it. The currently malfunctioning Okami is a beautiful sight to witness.
Thank
Thank
you
you
guys.
guys for supporting his channel and his dreams.
I am, speaking of supporting someone's dreams, this weekend, one of our old coworkers has a son that wants to learn to play D&D, and he was like, "Yo, if you're home on Saturday, I'm gonna show up, and you're gonna teach my son how to play D&D." And I was like, "I'm assembling the Child Avengers." And when I said it, DT was like, he just started laughing, and I looked at him, and I was like, and he goes, "The Young Avengers." And I was like, yes. And then I was like, well, it depends on how many worlds they save. They might just be relegated to being the champions. Oh my god, we're
Kudos
starting
to the
off strong.
saving of on all future accidental terminologies.
What is... You guys don't... Oh my god! There's so many! What's happening?
Okay, it got real. It got real quick. This is holy.
We didn't even start telling you about hanging out at a Feywild sleepover. Oh my god. We're gonna unlock so many things. I don't know what this unlocked. Oh, last time it unlocked a happy child. Where is the happy child? Oh no, the confused child. I think next level was happy child. I'm actually not sure. Oh, now it's gonna sound like I went through puberty for the rest of the stream, or rather, I'm going through puberty.
I think you might be going through a mild form of it.
Oh, you guys are
Okay,
amazing. Oh man. Oh, this is. Thank you. But I was gonna say before that I'm pretty sure I can make mod icons. I don't think it has to be the sword. I just have to figure out where that is, because we need we need one. We gotta make it. I think I know what the mods have to be on Twitch. I think all of the mods have to be nibbles.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm gonna figure out how to
Nose or
do that.
Steve?
Ooh, ooh, the mods do protect me. I think you're right. I think it has to be Steve. It has to be Steve. Steve mod icon going right in the here we go. Okay. Cool. We have decisions for this. But I don't know who else is coming on. We know DM Speedy can't make it. Can't make it. Can't.
Won't be joining us tonight.
Yes.
I'll
Thank
speak
you.
for you. Don't worry. Yeah,
What about second
unfortunately,
puberty?
DSCD. Unfortunately, DSCD is not going to be able to make it tonight. He unfortunately is getting settled in to a new layer, so to speak, and it's going to be taking a little bit of time. So we hope he has not too much madness in his own dungeon creation. Is the best way.
True. For those of you that are respected hunters, before the power went out today, I did put out a notes
I
post.
just like that that's the it's like that's the benchmark for before the power went out.
Yeah, before I lived in the darkness.
Oh no! Wait, it got too dark.
I
It got too dark.
was born in the darkness, molded by
Weird.
it.
Get out of here, baby.
I did give people sneak peeks on what each of us DMs is planning on running people through.
Oh, oh.
I remember the name though. Oh no, but Bane is not the first movie. Never mind. Where's Rachel is the first movie. Bane is
Where's Rachel?
the second question mark? Or the third? I don't know. But it's not Where's Rachel? Different movie. I will say I feel a little bad that I should have done or I could have done more due diligence in the stuff that we're going to take a look at today because I can't tell you where all of them are from, and I apologize to the authors for that, but the file names don't have any information on them for a bunch of them. This one I know comes from Dungeon in a Box because it's got their logo on the bottom. I was like, haha, that one's easy peasy. But later on, some of the maps, I'm like, I don't know where you're from, and I don't recognize the art style. So I apologize that I can't tell you where to find that. The third one? Okay. I was like, I know it's not the first, but I don't know where it was. I've never seen that movie in its entirety. I only know Tom Hardy's voice. All-time record shattered, y'all. We've unlocked a hype chest. We got the no comment emote.
A hype chest?
Honestly, that's a pretty good emote for us as a group.
That is a pretty nice emote.
12 subs. You guys are amazing. We don't deserve y'all.
No, we do. You do. You absolutely do. Shut this lying up. You
Stop
deserve
the cry again. Fair. You have a train now too. Oh, is that how it works? I understand. Everyone who contributes to the hype train gets a train.
Get your train. Come on,
Come
ride the
on
train.
and get your trains on.
It's a choo-choo train. Sorry, I don't know why I went to Quad City DJs instantaneously.
I don't have the camera on, but I want you all to know that I'm dancing like Kevin Hart. And I know most of you will understand what I mean by that. Well, I think since we started late, I usually give DM Lacar about 15 minutes. I think it's about 15
Yeah,
minutes now, right? Ish.
yeah,
Oh, 20
yeah,
minutes. All
we
right.
good.
I think we can start it up. So,
You wanna drop a link?
I don't have links for these guys. I am very sorry. I know that this one comes from Dungeon in a Box, but I don't know what holiday event it came from, but it is the Fairy Tea Party map. And there's two of them, but we're going to look at this one first because this is the one that your players can be having their little dream world. Maybe they think
Wait,
it's a dream. This is when they eat or drink the real good stuff. And this is where they end up.
oh my. Okay. So Alice in Wonderland meets Sheogorath.
Yeah! I'm also going to say that
So
since almost all of these are just random files, like, just ask me for them. They're probably going to end up in Tabletop Schmabletop too. Just be like, hey, can I have that map? And I can give it to you. Because I would
you
send you the
know,
link to go find it, but
hey,
I don't know where you find it.
just send me the files.
Boop, boop. This is the Fairy Tea Party.
Thank you. This way I can see
Ooh,
them.
that would be good. I would like that. No, I would like it. I would like it. Look at these. Okay, so Dungeon in a Box doesn't normally do like weird 3D stuff, but like I feel like in this specific case, like making these weird 3D models that don't fit in with the rest of the art and like these weird like 3D Lincoln Logs assets and putting them in to where everything else is flat 2D like really sells the vibe of oh no, this place is weird. I was thinking of my brain
Ooh,
didn't
Dungeon Land.
process Adventures in, it only processed Dungeon Land, which is a weird uh, game that sort of is like the whole thing takes place at like a weird, I guess, murder carnival kind of deal. And I've been thinking that, and then when you said, "Have you read it?" I was like, "But it's a game." And then I realized, oh, my brain just missed the whole beginning of that. Just no process. Okay. Then I will stay away from it. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, if you ever want to end up at a tea party, oh, I've just noticed that Pinocchio is sitting at the table. Oh, well, there's your weird, creepy dude right there. He just wants to
Oh,
be a real boy. Are you real boys and girls?
I don't think if Pinocchio's there, I'm lighting the table on fire.
You could also make all of these weird, like these 3D assets really sell on the vibe of something's wrong here.
Hey, Waz, you've piqued my interest. Interest peaked over here. Um, that being said, I like I like that as colorful as this map is. Mind you, this is way more colors than I think I've ever put
Oh,
in
100%.
a game, let alone a
Mm-hmm.
map.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I feel like this is where you get really wonky and throw this on your players when they least expect it. Like
Yes.
they're dropped in this magical wonderland and they're like, what the hell? And they're just affected by this mass confusion almost. Because they could fight things that are horrifying, amalgamations of,
Hmm.
kids' toys and fairylands and all this, while being stuck in, you know.
Have you have I don't know how many of you out there watch Cracker Milk, but they're a very like irreverent comedy group, and they have this joke about you go on a date with a girl and you go into her room, she has like a million plushies, and she's like, okay, just stay here with my friends while I go to the bathroom. And a Connor like walks over to the plushies and he sees a hand moving, like a human hand, and the last guy she was on a date with is buried in the plushies, and he's like, "Save me!" And Connor's like, "Oh my god!" And then the plushies grab him and pull him in too, and he's like, "No!" And then I don't remember what the blue-haired girl's name is, but she comes back in the room. She's like, "Oh my god, guys always leave me. I don't understand." Everyone's dead in the plushies. Bum bum bum. Listen, you could also just make this really cute. Like maybe this is what a Fey or an Archfey thinks all people's houses looks like.
Pretty much.
Don't you feel at
Like-
home, kids? Don't you want to stay here forever? Yay! Did I just make them the Lost Boys? I sure
you are
did.
not my friend. Ooh.
I basically
Ooh.
just made them the Lost Boys.
Oh God. Oh no.
I mean, it is immortality.
Not the Lost Boys.
Oh, I don't mean the vampire ones. I mean like the kids in Neverland.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Cool.
Or yeah.
Actually, they're both immortal.
Oh, true. Yep.
So both work.
That's when it's an evil clown, for sure. That's it, because he's an unknowable god anyway. I think it can take any form. He just chooses to be the clown because it's creepy, right?
Yeah, it allows him to potentially generate the most fear. So it sticks with it.
I also like the idea that this is apparently like a fenced-in yard. So like if you pop up here, you can go anywhere from there. Anything can happen outside that little gateway. You can go if you're using regular each grid is 5 feet, that treasure chest is enormous. You can go swimming in it.
Or you can be trapped in it for the rest of your life.
Maybe you're the treasure.
I mean, you've always been a treasure.
Aww.
That's just what you are.
Dex and Awa's your treasures today, and so is everybody else. Oh my god, there's so many people gifted subs. Oh my god.
So much emotion right now.
I know. You guys already made me cry. We're only on the first map.
Stop crying.
For those of you on YouTube that can't see it, they gifted so many subs that we unlocked an emote.
Makes me proud.
But this is Tea Party Map 1. I feel I want to keep this open specifically for DM Lacara. We'll come back to it when she comes on because DM Lacara has a tiny barbarian of her own that would love to see these maps.
Oh, that's right. The tiniest barbarian.
But there is another map in this set. It's Fairy Tea Party Map 2. I'm also realizing probably these came out at Easter. That is my guess.
That tracks.
But if playing in that fenced-in yard play place wasn't enough, there's rooms here. Oh, perfect timing!
Hello.
I swear that you literally wait for like the right moment. It's like, now it's the time.
I literally just sat down and plugged my earphones.
Yes, I just said I don't want to change the map because DM Lacar has a tiny barbarian of her own, and I think that these maps will both be useful to them.
In fact, one of our other possessors of tiny barbarians literally texted me yesterday and was like, "Hey, I just got like one of the kids first intro to RPG games on order. Would your tiny barbarian like to join my tiny barbarians party?" And I was like, "Hell yes, she would."
That's a
Starting them early.
I
Yes.
love that okay, so is your group going to be the champions of the Young Avengers? My group will be the other one.
I don't even know what that is. I mean, I can extrapolate what Young Avengers are. I have no idea what champions are.
They're just the people the kids who didn't make the Young Avengers, basically.
Oh, hell no. My tiny barbarian's not a second string to anyone. Is there... I have a question, though. Is there a junior version of the Suicide Squad?
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
There can
Because
be now.
I feel like that's probably the best fit for her.
I was going to say Ecstatics.
Adventurers on watch.
I was gonna say Ecstatics, but everyone dies in Ecstatics, so no. I mean,
no.
that is the Suicide Squad's idea, but Ecstatics, everyone dies in an absolutely horrible way. That was the whole idea of the comic. They hired a writer who was like, I don't want to write X-Men, and they were like, but we want you to, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna introduce a new person and kill off an old one every issue, and they were like, okay, I guess. Yeah, all the sub X-Men teams, kind of. Except X-Force. X-Force is cool. Actually, X-Force is probably the closest to the Suicide Squad because they do the dirty jobs. And nobody's supposed to know they're there.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The New Mutants also never graduate, so that could work too if you want them to stay kids forever. They could be the Power Pack. They're also small children that never grow up.
Young.
I don't know. I'm very the trajectory that she's going right now is going to be one of those kids that's absolutely just obsessed with vampires and all that kind of stuff, goth things, and but also I feel like I'm anticipating that, so then when she actually hits her tween years, all of a sudden she's going to become a Valley Girl.
Oh, interesting.
Just because I'm expecting the opposite. I don't know. We'll see. To each their own.
We shall see. So, to catch you up, DM Lacara, Dex and Awaz. Dex started the hype train, and then Awaz continued it, and they gave out so many subs that I cried. And then we started.
That takes one.
It's true. I cry pretty easy.
This is a fun fact about Okami. He will cry at the drop of a hat.
It's true. 100% true. Yay!
Wait,
Another DM! Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Vinny Fazio.
Hi!
I call myself a game master and a referee of tabletop
that's
role-playing
true.
games. How's it going?
It's going great, but better now that you're here.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yay! Okay, we were all excited because we were like, oh, I think another DM's coming. And they came.
Yeah, I was like, oh, did Speedy actually bail on rugs?
You can never bail on rugs. Those rugs are hand built. probably taken from an adventure itself. But welcome.
Welcome.
How's it going?
It is nice to meet you. I would like to point out that I have heard of you as Clubs for years and had no idea what your actual name was.
Yeah, clubs. Yeah, what does James call me too? Something else?
Oh, he does.
Hugs and kisses. Something like
Oh
that.
yeah, hugs and kisses. Yeah. Because the other screen name.
I forgot that's right. He calls you hugs. And...
What are you guys looking at?
So we just finished looking at probably the most colorful map that I know personally would never appear in just about anything we would do.
Yeah, it's a bit bright.
Entirely too happy for us.
First maps for tonight. Well, I just realized are probably from Easter. I apologize to everyone out there that my due diligence was not very well due for these particular maps because I can't place some of them. This one I know is Dungeon in a Box. I'm realizing it must be from Easter because that's the only time you would use all these bright, weird pastel colors.
I mean, I guess the colors and the art have their place, right? The style. I don't have a big use for this giant room, a single room.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like a weird little fenced-in yard. So we were like, I mean, you could go anywhere from there. This place is so
Is this
weird.
the thing with the weird rugs in the middle of the grass? Or are you talking about the other one?
Yeah, with weird rugs in the grass. I don't know why that's a thing. Like Dungeon in a Box as a company just loves putting rugs everywhere. And you're right, I hadn't really thought of why are they in the grass.
They could be mimics.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is like one of those things where like your party wakes up and like they've been turned into children or something.
Awaz was saying I would be hiding with the plushies. What if your party are the plushies right now and they don't realize it until they all go like start walking around?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Look down and be like, wait.
What?
I don't know how I would function with that.
Guys, my feet feel like cotton.
My feet feel like cotton. That is a statement I would never hear.
Better than waking up and being the rocking horse.
True.
Yikes. Also true.
I love Rugs of Smothering. One of my favorite, I guess, animated objects. Because you get to have like that Looney Tunes moment with every group when it starts like it covers some player's head and then everyone else is trying to like punch it and cut it off and they're really just punching their friend in the face over and over again.
Clubs, how many times have you caught me with various mimics in campaigns?
The one that sticks out the most was the ceiling.
Right? What?
It was like a ceiling.
Yeah, it was a ceiling mimic. We were running. Well, that was when we were running Blue Alley, right?
Blue Alley, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the more famous parts of Waterdeep that you can add on is Blue Alley. It's a very fun part of the Waterdeep campaign if you want to run like an intro campaign. It's kind of like a intro dungeon for teaching people dungeons, I feel like, in a weird way. But
nice little third-party dungeon that you can stick into Waterdeep.
Yeah.
I think that was made... Either it was made to go with Dragon Heist or it just fits really nicely in Dragon Heist.
Oh.
Yeah, it's super fun. But in there, you will encounter many a thing. And at one point, my character, being the tallest in the group, walked into a room and had the ceiling fall on top of him and proceed to start to eat his head.
You are too tall for this campaign.
Panic. Because this was my first encounter with a mimic like this. Mind you, I later also got introduced to the rug mimic, the one that almost suffocated us.
Rug mimic treasure chest mimic, of course.
I've been eaten by a couple of treasure chest mimics. There's the one that slowly reeled me in as I was knocked unconscious.
Have you dealt with a door mimic?
I have, but that one didn't get me. That one got Jordan.
So your answer to this was to turn around and free run me in Cardna.
Yes. Yes. Essentially, my personal dealings with mimics have translated into my own GMing style. Yes. I refuse to not let a mimic appear at some point or another. I ship mimics. So if this whole room is full of mimics, like each plush is a mimic, I'll support it.
The mimic I want to use the most. There's a guy who makes 3D models, and sometimes he designs like little board games that you could 3D print to play. His name's Jamie Corte or Quart. I don't know. He's from some Northern European area, what have you. But he does a series of mimics that you could 3D print, and one of them is the outhouse mimic, and like that's the one I want to use the most because I know in my heart of hearts my players will get up from the table and be like, I can't go to the bathroom ever again. I just want to use it so bad, but they won't. That is the one thing my table doesn't bring up when they want to like argue about semantics or what their characters would have to do. None of them ever talk about going to the bathroom, and I'm just waiting for it to happen.
It's not something I think as a GM or a DM you ever really stop your character to be like, did you go to the bathroom before you went on this 8-hour? Unless you wanted them to have an upset stomach as like a debilitation.
Yeah. Guess what?
Like
That jerky you ate last night?
Yeah. That I could see being something that like would be debilitating. I don't know if I'd necessarily be like, roll to see if you shit yourself. I think that could be
because if you're a horse, you have free action poop.
This is very true. Horses do have the free action to poop.
It does reduce their speed.
True.
But like things like that, I feel like are very specific, and it would have to be related to food they ate. Like I would have to have them become sick to their stomach. I would be telegraphing it too much. They'd be like, "Wait,
I'm not gonna eat this.
I'm not eating any of this food." It would ruin all my well-laid plans.
That wasn't a good berry.
Absolutely not.
For those modular sewer maps, yeah, you get it in your mouth, and now you're going. You gotta go.
Oh no! Modular sewer maps are a different hell.
Always with the sewers.
Yeah. So if you ever play in a club game, you're most likely going to run into some form of thing you should not have run into at the point you ran into it, and absolutely a sewer and or goblin, potentially naked goblin. I've been assaulted by many a goblin in my day. I still remember the one that I found as I went down the well then.
He was sickly and he did not assault you. He
assaulted my eyes.
I was gonna say it's just a different kind. Also, can we talk about how... No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Can we talk about how unlikely it is, given that most D&D is usually set in a high fantasy setting, which is vaguely medieval in context, that there are always sewers when they did not, in fact, develop actual plumbing systems in cities between the Roman Empire and the modern era?
So, I have an answer. You ready?
Yes.
Yes, please.
D&D is post-apocalyptic.
Ooh.
Ah.
Where is Grimbo? Fist, summon Grimbo right now.
In the far, far, far past of most D&D settings. I'm not going to say them all because it's different, and you can make your own that, and then that negates this. But a lot of the classic ones, they've had like society has fell from what it once was.
Okay,
Mm.
that's actually a reasonable explanation.
And hence all the ruins and dungeons and stuff too.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So in Marvel Comics, before Asgard fell, when they did like a couple years where it was all about like the way other realms treated Asgard, and you find out one of the reasons why the Frost Giants hate Asgard is because there's no plumbing in Asgard. They literally just teleport their poop onto catapults and then throw it into Frost Giant territory. And they've been doing it for millennia. And they're like, but that's where our poo goes. And they're like, that's where we live.
Shin, where does your poo go in our game?
So currently, in closed game, I've been playing in a Thursday night game with this man here for almost 8 years now. I think, yeah, 8, going on
Holy
8 years.
shit!
It's been a long time.
The longevity.
Yeah. But one of the recent systems we've gone into is Dolmenwood, which is a offshoot kind of fantasy version of D&D using, what would you say? What is it? It's not Beckme, is it? It's
No, it's like it's based off of, I think, BX.
right.
Oh.
Okay, it
D&D,
is BX.
the Moldvay box set. Anyway, there's a game called Old School Essentials, which is like a retro clone of this old edition of the game, and Dolmenwood is a like kind of skinned like fairy tale forest skinning of that.
Oh.
And it's a setting and a game together. We've been playing that for like 20 sessions.
That's cool.
He plays a
I'm
forest
playing-
dwarf
Yeah.
thing called a
um,
mossling.
I happen to have played the Mossling, the Forest Dwarf. And recently, well, a couple of sessions ago, we discovered that the Forest Dwarves believe in the natural order of things and ritualistically throw their dead in a pit around their trees that they grow and poop on them. Just in the pit. And so
That's
when
the
we
culture.
learned this, I made it a part of my character's mental frame that when he sees the dead, he's like, I gotta poop on it.
I just imagining someone comes to visit their territory. They're like, I have to go to the bathroom for the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, one of our players was about to die, and I was like, "Yo, save his body. I can take a shit on it to make sure
did that.
they know." Yeah, please don't. They were like, "Please don't let Erdang drop heat on my body." I was like, "Yo, I can do this. There's no roll."
Free action poop.
It's a free action.
Okay, I've cried twice this stream.
I think I'm
I'll
most
let it-
disturbed by the fact that Awas just said that she sent you guys some images in the middle of this conversation.
I don't know what happened, but I'm afraid. Oh Lord, Awas did.
What is that creature? But I do like the anime cat butt with his
Yep.
own butthole. Oh, that's fantastic.
But yes, if you ever want to play fantasy skinned D&D that's already kind of written, and get away and keep elves, but you start getting cool creatures like bat faced creatures and cat people that are legitimately turn into cats.
Yeah.
And it's very Fey heavy. Very Fey magic
Yeah.
heavy.
Very fairy Fey.
Yeah.
Enchanted.
Everything is
forest.
a Fey or a mortal. Or an immortal. Or a demi-human. It's a lot of fun.
That's so
But
cool.
actually I think this would probably work in Dolmenwood. This map. Now that I look at
Maybe.
it. I'm sure we could I'm sure we'd run into something that looks
tracks.
like this in Dolmenwood.
Possibly.
And then we'd bury the dead there and I'd poop on them.
That's the fenced-in area is full. No, it's under the rug. You just lift that one rug that's ratty on like the top right. You lift that up. It's the pooping pit.
Need a good pit and something to
The
grow.
way the way the pit is described, it's actually a very tall mound. Like we're talking 10 feet
No!
high.
Oh, the town is so
This is a-
stinky.
Generations of this.
Oh my god.
That's their culture. Look,
Yeah, I'm
That's
not.
the
I'm not
culture.
shaming your culture. I'm not. You guys do you.
Culture. This is what we do, man. Right? We're gonna tell you how to live your life. But if you're not dropping heat, you could be dropping your fingers on some cool buttons here on the channel to help out. DM Lacara,
That was a good
could you
one.
tell people how can they help out Okami in the channel?
I need a minute to recover.
Fair enough.
Had to tune out there for a little bit. All right. Hit the buttons, people. If you have money, please hit the buttons that give Okami money. There is Twitch and YouTube and Patreon and YouTube. I already said that. There's lots of ways to get a hold of him and give him money. And if you do not have money but wish you did, there's actually a free Patreon tier. And you can like, subscribe, share the videos and the content and all of those good things to help people find us and hear about weird things and some fun things. And also we have a Redbubble.
True.
We do.
True. Ooh!
you
Before
can
you
buy
came
cool
on, we
merch.
decided we're gonna change. I'm gonna figure out how to change the mod icon from a sword to Steve because the mods protect us.
I love it.
I will figure it out.
I am still not a mod.
What? Okay, I know how to
Yeah, I
fix
need
that
one.
now. Ha ha!
I think I need that mod power. Just saying.
I wish it did. I wish it like played an animation or something. But
Oh, I
it
got
doesn't.
a mod view now.
Oh wait, let me make sure that I'm sending it to the right person.
No, you did.
I'm a Stevia mama. I can't give you everything, but I want to.
You guys already made me cry today when you hit all the buttons and started a hype train. You didn't have to do that, but we did unlock a new emote. Everyone can use the no comment emote now. Which is probably good for us as a group, you know?
Yeah, I think we'll use that quite a bit. Don't ask me why.
Nobody knows. Why
Just
can't I? Yeah, I was right. Okay. I was like, you're not Shin here.
I am surprisingly in some places I am not.
Bam!
But Okami, I must ask you, what is the next thing we're gonna get to look at?
There is another Fairy Tea Party map, which is actually more what I would think would be the tea party, like actually happening. There were two in this set. This one has like more Feywildy stuff outside, but then there's 2 rooms and an actual area to have your big feast. You could be your legitimate heroes feast if you wanted. I just love that even in a D&D, like a fantasy setting, there's the adults table and the kids table in the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
There must be two.
I think now going back to the Dolmenwood example, this is what I imagine the inside of the witch's hut is.
Mmm.
Yeah, I like this one a lot more. I feel like I would have more uses for this one. What are the edges of the map? Like, can you zoom
Oh,
so
yep.
that
Boink.
Looks like a
is it
garden?
turning at the sides?
I think. Well, it says there's two doors here. This is a weird way to show doors, because it's like I'm not gonna fault anyone for art because I have zero artistic talent, as evidenced by Nibbles. But I would have just put the door in like the same width as the wall.
Mm.
Because like the entrance. Oh, those are actually windows. Yeah, I thought they were doors. Nope, those are windows. The doors are the correct width. Yeah, this is a weird one to show that there are windows that you can see. Why is there a window between? Oh, I guess
Are those
like a
paintings?
daycare. There's a window from the dining room table to the playroom.
I suppose. That's a little weird to me. I'm not gonna lie.
It could be a pass through.
I feel
Hmm.
like I would rather have a map of the whole area, including like the grounds around this building too.
Mm.
Nothing
Yeah.
around it.
I could see that for sure.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely some context to this area that we're missing in like a weird way.
Mm.
Yeah, like what's the rest of the building? Like it looks like there's more rooms
Yeah.
above and to the left.
I'd also want to know, like, how do I get to this building? Like, is this kind of just appearing out of thin air, or?
I'm trying
I
to
guess it's like
figure
a
out.
right? It's like wherever you're gonna use it, that's how you get there.
Like the way that this path goes, it looks like you come out of a cave to the path. So
Up a
maybe,
hill or something.
yeah, like maybe that's how your players came through a portal, but they don't actually know that they did. So they like come out of the cave that they were supposed to be spelunking in, and now they're here, and they're like, "What's going on?"
My earlier point about I'd like to have the area around it. I'm looking and like on the right side here, there's all these like flowers. So maybe you're blocked from going that way, and maybe I should assume I'm blocked from going the other way too. And maybe I should assume there's no doors. So this is it. There's no backyard. This is the whole
Oh.
area.
There's no way out.
Yeah. Maybe like DM, I think you said everyone got turned into kids. Maybe you get turned into kids, and now like the adults just appear. Maybe they're not even Fey. Maybe they're like constructs or something. They're having their dinner, and all your party is relegated to the children's table, and everything here is just like, you're too young to go out and do anything, and you're like, but I'm not young, and all the parents are like, no, you are young. You're just a baby.
You're just a baby.
And this is clearly like one of your players' fears, like never growing up and being appreciated and having their own agency. And like the rest of the party knows it, but that player can't figure it out.
Or even if it's not, you just throw this at your players because they slept in the wrong place.
Ooh,
I
true.
feel like you get to. I feel like you get to throw this at your players because, you know, yeah, you rolled on the table. You know, they may not have done. I'm a bigger fan nowadays of having them be interacted with, and like having them be interacted with without them knowing that this interaction could happen. And it's not to say like I'm punishing them. It's just kind of like, hey, you're in the woods. Things
Yeah.
happen in the woods. This is a thing that happened.
Oh, they find an unoccupied like room in a dungeon to have like a long rest in, and for some reason there's like a doll in the corner of the room. And nobody can explain
Yeah.
like how it got there or why it's there, and nobody wants to touch it. So they just leave it there, and then they wake up here.
Yeah. And when they're asking themselves, like, hey, well, how did we get here? Well, did any of you pay attention to that weird doll just sitting in the corner? No one inspected it? No? Well,
Now
fun
you're here.
fact, that weird doll was weird. Was absolutely that, a weird doll. You shouldn't have trusted it sitting in the corner like that.
Your
Like,
players are
sorry.
like, what else is in this room? And you're like, a mysterious doll is staring at you. It's very mysterious. But what else is it? The mysterious doll sits unmoving.
You feel like its eyes are following you.
Oh, but what else is here? I
Megan head bitch.
You might have a Megan moment.
You mean Mathregan?
Stop. Stop. Don't offend the human language like that. Don't offend us like this. Not like this.
I have no idea what's going on.
It's a horrible horror movie about an android
Uh,
that has made far too much waves, too many waves in the world, I think. But I'll say this much about this map, so you don't go crazily off track.
so we do.
One,
It's true.
we do. No, we always do. It's habit. It's a habit of ours. We like it. It's the flavor you get.
Yeah.
There's something. If I want to turn this into the idea, like you had brought up, Clubs, of this room, the flowers, everything is cutting you off, like you're not supposed to leave, then each one of these little play areas in the room, what if I turn this whole thing into my dungeon setting?
Yep.
And if they go into the house, well, there's a part of the dungeon. They go into that little map, well, there's a part of the dungeon. Well, you know, if I wanted to run, let's say, like, I was being a paid DM. I know that's come up a couple of times for people, and come up as like an idea now more popular in the world. Well, if I want to run something concise, have my players create characters, and their characters fall asleep at the inn in session 0 and wake up session 1, children versions of themselves trapped in this playhouse, avoiding the big witch and trying to figure their way out. Boom, I will run them. And because each session could be each one of these tiny little areas, I don't have to go crazy. I've given you a world map, and everything's confined to this house. And eventually they'll get to the big table where they'll figure out what to do to wake up, and I'll end the campaign.
A hag masquerading as the evil governess.
Ooh. I'm even thinking, like, maybe when you go to one of the play areas in the playroom, you get shrunk, and that's a new little demi-plane for you to hang out in. Very Alice in Wonderlandy.
But again, because we can see the clear number of maps. Oh, El Hee. I have heard the tales of El Hee. It's been a while. But because you can see all the maps here too, I think it lends to the idea that you can contain it to, okay, you know how many of these you have left, because this is now being treated as your world map.
Ooh, when you said the like the flowers and stuff bar your way, I'm thinking like they leave a pollen, they disperse a pollen, and or maybe the shrooms like shoot out a gas that either puts you to sleep or wipes your memory, so you just keep ending up back in the house every time you try to leave.
I could see that, where it's just like you don't, and you just have no idea of what you potentially thought you might have seen. You're just back.
Me during pollen season.
Fair.
This could be like a good. You saying Michael Jackson is the witch, being El Hee, I was like, this could also be like how you would run a Hansel and Gretel kind of situation, where like they're trying to kidnap small children. Maybe you're all like starting adventurers because you're actual babies. This is what you get roped into.
Or you like were given this task, like, and taking on the job, you get disguised. You like a spell gets cast on you to make you look like children.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that works too, Awas. Yeah. This is not a place you would enter normally, for sure.
No. No, definitely not. There's a lot of options for this. What's up? Oh, sorry, man.
Be like a lair of something.
Mm-hmm. Like
So you're only really going if it's like random encounter lair, or you go hunt this thing, maybe like a witch, like you said, and then you show up and this is the lair, which is a little disorienting.
Mm-hmm.
And not have it be like a cave or like a decrepit hut.
In Fable, sometimes you would end up at like the weird little demiplane things, and like you'd walk up to a really nice house and knock on the door, and you'd go inside, and after you'd explored the whole house, where it was all like nice and extravagant and definitely seemed like aristocrats lived there, when you get to like the last room, pretty much everything disappears, and you see everything is old and decrepit, and no one's been here in a bajillion years, and you're just like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
You got it. There you go. This isn't the destination map. This is the fake out map. You start the adventure in this nice little hunt, and then everyone sits down for food, and they wake up in your dungeon you have planned for the day.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Like this.
Or you have some like special astronomical thing going on, like the flower moon or something, and like your party goes into a cave, maybe even someplace that they've like been before, and they're going to like, going back for some reason, or going to kill some more goblins or something. Except that time they go in, and it turns into this place.
There's so much to it now.
This is the flavor you come to us for.
This is true. This is true.
All right.
So the idea of this being your start, I like this. It definitely lends more to it and requires less for it. I think you brought up like a good idea of kind of controlling our expectations from the map, and then using that new expectation to go as crazy as we would if we had more.
Mm-hmm.
That's a handy skill. Less is more here.
Yeah. All right. It's funny that almost everyone here mentioned Lair in some way. The next map we're going to take a peek at tonight is actually the lair of a creature. It is the Agate Dragon's Lair from Studio Agate. You guys have definitely heard us talk about them, especially me, many times. Or if you've been in the Discord, I'll scream about the chinchilla folks all the time. That is Studio Agate. But this is their Agate Dragon Lair. And I will... So if you wanted to grab this, I actually have a physical version of this map too. The physical, I don't know how you get the digital version besides as a bonus from one of their Kickstarters. But the physical one you can get in, I believe, both the treasure chest and the cartographer's maps of Aeana, which is their world. I'm not sure how you get the digital one besides it being a goal, but I will share it with the DMs, and I will show it on the screen momentarily. Boink. And I'm going to put it in Tabletop in case anybody wants it. And this one has a name, but this one I could recognize immediately. I was like, oh, I know what you're doing here. I've been here. I see.
Oh, wow.
The cool thing...
Okay, the second page is much more like wall kind of setup.
It's like just your... Because I was like, why would you do this? And I was like, oh, because the actual physical battle map is double-sided. And I was like, oh, I gotcha. I understand now. But the cool thing that Studio Agate does with all of their Lair maps is that while you can use the battle map as a battle map for sure, they also have like a isometric view of the whole area, which I've never seen anyone else do. But this, like, your players, when you throw this map down, your players not only know where their characters are, but they also have the vibes of the whole area from like the isometric view, which is super cool and makes it so much easier to describe to your players too. I need a more foreboding song than track 15 from Rayman, which I'm sure has a name, but I can't figure it out.
I'm pretty sure Rayman throwing a punch at random poachers in this map is jovial, but probably not the thought process of a person going through here.
We can go with facing the dragon because that makes total sense.
Theme appropriate.
You have
The
in
first thing.
fact.
Mm-hmm.
You have in fact shared this map with me before when I went to save it into my folder for maps, which is your folder for maps. It was like, do you want to overwrite this file? I was like, ha.
I have many a thing from Fate. Well, okay, so Fate Forge is like their D&D stuff, but they're actually Studio Agate. Pretty much everything they do, I will kickstart. Like they just have my money forever. Like they have a direct line right to my wallet. They do amazing stuff.
I feel like everyone, or if you're into tabletop, you have that group or like that publisher that you see stuff come from, and you're just like, yep, whatever it is, I can trust it.
Will take.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that. But, like, sure, this is a big arena. You don't necessarily have to use it for... Sorry, I just got completely distracted by reading Awaz's comment. I'm going to use words one day. I don't know when that day is going to come, but wow, okay. I'm just thinking he doesn't have arms or legs, so, like...
Who doesn't?
Rayman, he's like a head, a torso, feet, and hands.
Oh.
That's just Rayman.
Yeah. And he can move like each part of those independently as if they were all connected. That probably makes it weirder now that I think about it. I was thinking of it like, oh, it's fine. There's no like force connecting them. And then I was like, no, that's worse. That's worse.
Were you trying to power it down? Because
I was.
I'm gonna let you know. You are not succeeding.
No.
You have only given it more power than it's become more powerful than you've ever imagined.
Whoopsie doozy.
You are trapped in the Awaz lair. No, I'm just kidding.
I am. This particular arena, I'm not sure why they have these arrows and these lines. The physical map doesn't have those. I'm assuming they're just trying to point out that like you can walk on those if you wanted to. Like you can be on those layers of the map. But
Yeah, that's like height stuff, right?
oh yeah. I think they're trying to say because from the 3D view, there's a whole bunch of height stuff happening, but the top down, obviously, you can't see that. So that probably makes a lot of sense. And I haven't seen this before. I'm realizing that the arrows tell you like where you can get on that layer if you're going via the height stuff. That's kind of neat. I mean, it's not immersive, but it makes sense to help your players figure out where they want to go.
Yeah. Clear is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you don't have to necessarily put a big old dragon fight in here. This could just be like a challenge match. Maybe people come and watch things here. Or maybe this is where the weird ritual happens where you summon... I immediately looked in the center and I was like, where you summon a horde of unknowns from Pokemon and they spell out your spells for you.
Well, it could also be completely left here as is, and the players could find that it has no purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be something that they come back to and have to come and realize like what really is going on. Like this is there's so many layers to it that you can work with, and I appreciate that the map itself isn't cluttered. Like once you get down to what the center of the map is, like
Mm.
and what the centerpiece of this map is, it's not cluttered. I there's not a lot to explain. It's almost self-explanatory as a map.
Yeah, I could see a campaign where, like, you know, your guy has fallen with a group that, you know, they go out and they do jobs for and they build a rapport with and everything. And part of what they do is they go out and they capture these, like, really dangerous creatures that are coming from somewhere, and they drop them off here, and it kind of teleports them away. And they're like, "Ha, we're saving everything and everyone." And then they find out at one of the, like, tipping points of the story that, like, those things, they just couldn't communicate with them, and the organization they're working for is evil. They've been teleporting these poor beasts to, like, somewhere where they're being tortured.
Oh yeah, this definitely leaves it open to this isn't as safe as you think it is.
Yeah.
Like you like I don't want my players to walk in this room and be like, "Ah, this is a teleportation circle." Okay. To where, to what, for what, how does it work? These are the things you should hope they answer. And quite honestly, I might not tell them it's a teleportation. If they say, "Oh, is it teleporting things?" I'll be like, "Oh, well, you can find out." I'm not going to tell you. Obviously, I want you to step on there and maybe find out it doesn't teleport you anywhere. And now you're just sitting there scratching your head, wondering why I would put a giant runic octagon in the middle of nowhere, or a hexagon in the middle of a room, stacked on top of another runic hexagon.
I'm also
'Cause I
thinking,
can.
like, there's so many chains around. This feels like one of the vaults in Borderlands. Like some creature used to be imprisoned here, but the
Mhm.
chains are broken, and there's like one part of the sigil is messed up,
Mm.
and you get basically conned into coming here and helping out and what have you because they want you to fix the sigil. But the person that they're gonna okay, if Grimbo was here, immediately he'd be like, "Oh, this is where you imprison God. This was God's prison, and somebody else let him out. We're gonna put him back in."
Yeah, I was about to say something similar. Straight up, I was gonna
Go.
say like this is the very, very, very bottom floor of your dungeon where you put like the optional boss fight that, you know, sure, if you stumble upon it and want to do it, absolutely, but you don't need to.
Okay.
I like that. Maybe you're the one who broke the sigil, and you're releasing this beast so you can fight it and take it out once and for all.
As soon as they set foot in the room, you start boss music playing, but nothing appears for like a really long time.
I think if you start, there's certain songs that if you start playing, I will break into a convulsive fit. So I can't have that occur.
We talked about this last time, didn't we?
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, this is the person. So in DMSP and I were speaking about how the only thing they fear is you, is the track that triggers a fight flight reflex. This is the man who triggered that fight flight reflex for us.
But I can't
I,
do it without it now.
I know. I know. It's almost like a Pavlovian response at this point.
Yeah.
We're just
That's
like, oh god,
fantastic.
song's on.
You guys just tell me to put the music on.
At this point, yeah. At this point, we're just like, wait, oh, we're gonna fight something. Oh, we're gonna potentially die. Just put the track on. Just play the track. We have a button made that's just Limp Bizkit's play the fucking track.
I, in a very similar boat, whenever DT's character, his ranger, is starting to kill things, he plays The Only Thing They Fear Is You from the 2016 Doom soundtrack, and
Mm-hmm.
so I played it against him when a big scary enemy came out one time, and he like looked at his phone and he was like, I didn't do that, and then he went, oh no, and the rest of the table was like, oh no, but he started playing it when we play 40K now, and I feel bad because every time he turns it on, he makes like some stupid decision in the game, and I just like overrun him every time. And I'm like, I think you're putting it on for me and not you at this point.
You've stolen his track.
I did. I stole his track mojo. I feel kind of bad about
You
it.
jacked his mojo. You jacked his track, Joe.
I did. Oh my. Okay, that's a quote we need on some merch.
I jacked
What
his
was that?
track.
I jacked his track, Joe.
Track is jacked.
And then,
Listen,
no, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I can't play that song for my players because it'll invoke for me a fight or flight reflex.
I gotcha. That makes sense though.
Like I can only play that. I can only have that played against me.
So funny.
The other half of this map is just like a generic big old road. Like you could use this as the bottom if you want to add more scatter terrain and what have you, and it's fine. Like you're in the middle of a city. It's good.
Very
It's not
small map.
special.
Maya.
Yeah, like the lair is like just the lair. You want something to lead to it, huh? I'm not against you there.
What is this across in 5 feet grid?
Ooh.
Diagonally. Hold on, I gotta count.
Diagonally.
Oh, god damn.
Oh,
Don't you do this.
you lost me. That sounds like math.
9, 14, 15, 16. Isn't that 16 times 5? 80 feet diagonally, I think. Wow. What are you guys all playing? 5e? What's the range of a short bow? What's the like short, medium, long on a short bow?
Ooh.
I'm thinking about it real hard. I think it's
150
150,
is long,
600.
I think.
Yeah, I think. It's something that I should totally know. All of us panicked. I felt it. We were like, short bow is 8320.
Listen, I immediately forgot for me because I have not run a 5e game in so long. It's kind of scary.
I don't have
Oh, short bow. Yeah, we all use long bows.
only Runa Okami in my campaign has a bow, and nobody else uses one, so I have not had to keep track of this.
Short bow is 8320.
That's the short bow?
Yeah. Long bow is 120, 600.
So wait, it's only two numbers?
Yeah, the regular range and then disadvantage range.
Oh, man. Okay, cool.
Oh, you've gotten used to.
I've gotten used to it. I don't know. I just was surprised. I thought maybe of all things that would be the same. I don't know. Maybe not. I wasn't. Am I crazy? Am I gonna? Where's my fucking? Where's the? You're telling me that the old 5e, what is it, 2014, didn't list them in like short, medium, long? Really?
No.
Crazy.
No, that's the second edition thing.
Oh, short, medium, long. That's cool. I've never seen that, but that's cool.
We got used to that in Beck Me, I think, a lot more. And
wow, I just juked myself.
Like as you said it, I was just like, no, you're thinking Beck Me. I'm like, you've got to be thinking Beck Me here.
Cool. So tell me again what the short. Now that I know what you're actually saying to me, can you Please tell me the short bow range again.
80, 320.
80 up to 320. Dang. Well, I'd say that based on that, not every map has to be giant, but it would be, it'd be cool to see some big ones too.
Mm.
Where you can use that kind of stuff.
The next, okay, so the next map is not a map, but we're gonna turn it into a map. I figured it'd be a. I closed it. 1 second. I see what I did there. That was my mistake. I closed
love
the
the
PDF
singing.
reader too quickly. I
I love the song.
need this one. Boop. Because the next map is one that I again should have done my due diligence a little bit better for. That's my bad. But this is a page from the current run of Metamorpho. It's probably like 2 or 3 issues ago, where they try to infiltrate a pyramid. And I was like, oh, this is just a dungeon map. Just change the perspective and it's a dungeon map. It even has all the traps and all the entrances and exits already built in.
There you go. Run that one night.
I really am like I just want to run this dungeon just straight. I think this would be
I'm
so
always
fun.
down. I'm always down to just run a dungeon.
That would be so much fun. I would love to do like a Egyptian themed pyramid map.
Yeah, just drop me in the throw me in the pit. Put the song on.
Guys, don't
Well, is it the pit you poop in? I don't know if you want to be there.
I can
That's a
help
different
you
kind.
out with this.
Oh, what are you cooking?
Like,
What am I thinking?
I just I stared at this when I was reading the. I was like, oh, like what? They even like fire traps in this room. This is the falling trap, the gas trap, the walls and floors come and just slam you trap. One of them is flooded. One of them is you can find like multiple entrances, but one of them is like if you can change your shape, you can get in. One of them has hot boiling oil, and then like the regular arrow traps. Like, I also just like that there's just a regular old like study in the middle of the dungeon that doesn't fit in with anything else that's there. Like someone just
But you gotta
moved
think
in.
about it. No, but you gotta think about it like this. Classic dungeons, right? Like if you think about a wizard's lair, in old D&D, when a wizard built a lair, he was building his home that literally he wanted people that if they happened to fuck around would find out very quickly that he is a wizard. Like they're putting all sorts of crazy traps in there, but they're also leaving like their lab, their bedroom, a place for them to hang out, eat dinner, and things of that nature, because this is also where they live. They don't leave their lair unless they truly have to. So the study just means that, oh, wait, hold on. This isn't just a temple. This was someone's home. And maybe they're keeping more valued belongings, which is why it's so heavily trapped. You start to work that in there. So while it feels out of place, all of a sudden, it now adds more validity to the location that your players are adventuring in.
Oh. Hold on. Huh.
No, it used to be store.
Come here, bud. What are you doing wrong?
Oh.
Oh, shop. Huh? Ah! We'll figure it out eventually. It takes a couple tries, okay?
Oh dear.
I like that I didn't even get it right. Don't feel bad. I didn't even get it right. And I set
It's your
it up.
channel. Oh boy.
Let me see if on YouTube it's also shop. I think so.
The,
Let's find
this
out.
week is not.
This is an off week, okay? I lost power. I didn't get to set up the music beforehand. I forgot to change it. Well, I'm leaving the music on. It's fine. You face the dragon because look, they walked into a flamethrower trap. I really love that this is just a whole page in the comic. Everything else was normal, and then just this. Let's show their whole adventure.
It's self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
It's super self-contained.
And also using this idea whenever you get like one of those kids mazes on like the playmat when you're at a restaurant or what have you, you could turn that into a dungeon too.
Mm.
Totally.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Or I guess it's more like a Agatha all along big wink.
I don't know what kind of dungeons you guys like, but if you guys like 5-room dungeons, if you've heard of those. Like,
No, tell me more.
absolutely. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me see. Or I think it's a blog post. 5-room dungeon.
Ooh, okay.
feel like
You had
there's, like-
asked if I had any hex crawls, and I was going to run hex crawls this week because I found some website that like it sets up. You like tell it what hexes go in what places, and then it shows you like a visual representation of that. But then it can also like procedurally generate what would be on like a design on each of those hexes. And I used to use that site pretty frequently, but it changed so that when you click on a map that's been previously made or like that you set up, it like just gives you gobbledygook. And I was like, what did you guys do? This used to work perfectly. And then I went and grabbed this instead.
So here I got this link. I'm gonna drop it to you so you can.
Oh shit!
Oh, this is good. Finally, a link I can give.
Oh,
If you
yes.
really like to run dungeons, this is a good way of looking at them.
Ooh.
For like as like a. You're gonna have to scroll pretty far down.
I pinned it in. Oh, free! I like free!
You'll see. At one point, it's like here's the 5-room dungeon format in detail.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
So I like dungeons with lots of rooms and lots of empty rooms, but this is definitely you're not gonna have any empty rooms here. But it's I like these too.
Oh.
Like each and you can kind of mix this up a little bit, but your first room is like an entrance or a guardian,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's puzzle or even it's just a hidden door or there's
Sick.
something challenges them, and then you have room 2 or 3 you can kind of interchange, but you put like your puzzle or your role play thing and so on and so forth. I think like number 5 is treasure and number 4 is your boss. I think pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Trick or setback, yeah, the climax, and then room 5 is like your reward or something. It's a good way to generate a game for a night.
That's like a
Or-
super quick. Hey, I wanna run a game, but I don't have anything planned. But I have a pretty good idea.
I also run a lot of location-based adventures. So this is a good way to kind of compartmentalize and quickly prep a location-based adventure where it's like you're gonna go to this place, and then I just put out a map and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I prep those 5 areas, and that's the session.
Oh, I like this.
So sometimes with these smaller maps, you can do things like that. The last one though was just like an arena kind of.
Mm,
You could maybe do that, but the locations would be pretty close. Maybe that's location 4 or 5. You know.
gotcha.
Oh, like the boss arena is location 4, and then obviously your reward room is maybe the stairs up to location 5, and you can maybe do it that way.
Possibly.
If you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, however you have it laid out, you know. And
There's so
5 room
much cool
dungeons,
stuff.
yeah, have to be in like a linear order.
I would like to at some point run more, maybe not for my group specifically because they don't pay attention, so this won't work. Minus Bacon. Bacon pays attention. But and Valley of Vageria pays attention. But I would love to do. I want to play around more with like teleporters in the dungeon. Like there's a whole bunch of rooms that have different teleporters and they like lead to different areas and what have you. I think that would be so fun. But I just feel like my group as a whole would just keep getting in the same teleporter over and over again, and I'd have to strangle each one of them.
Well, you might just have to strangle them.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, sometimes, honestly, just strangle them. Like, what are you really sparing them from?
And I mean, I maybe have one or two. I don't know how many of you out there are playing Marvel Rivals, but they just added a new map that has a whole bunch of teleporters on it. And there's 3 teleporters in your spawn room, but 2 of the teleporters are facing each other and they lead to one another, and the 3rd teleporter just puts you through the wall that it is on. And it makes me so angry that we could have all this cool stuff, and instead you just have me teleport within like the same 10 feet over and over and over again. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use. I'm going to take a peek at this. It'll be eventually. It will be in the links on YouTube. For those of you on Twitch, I just posted it and pinned it because I feel, yeah, like Awa said, I feel bad that I have no links for anybody this time. I feel bad about that. Sorry.
Well, I also recommend that if you do check this out and you like it, just search that on YouTube. You'll find a million videos of people talking about 5 room dungeons, and you'll find your favorite, you know, tabletop creator talking about it, most likely. Or, you know, you'll find your favorite out of the ones talking about it.
That's awesome. Hey, anything that helps. I like it. But this is the Metamorpho dungeon, for lack of a better term. Okay, the next 2 maps they're supposed to be paired up because you could technically run them as the same place, but switching between the planes. I know it came from DM's Guild, which doesn't necessarily narrow it down, but the files didn't have any names other than that, and I apologize for that. But we've got Fey Crossings, and technically they could be the same place but in different planes, or they don't necessarily have to be. You can run them however way you want them. I just think it's pretty cool to have 2 of those maps. Originally I was thinking like this could be like a Kanan, like a Legacy of Kain type thing, where like when you switch to the ethereal plane it looks totally different, but it could also just be you're switching between the Feywild and the material plane, or however else you want to do it. Or maybe this is what you see at night and that's what you see in the day. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same place. It just kind of looks like it. Yeah. You can come into the Discord.
That's part of the beauty of it. The beauty of fantasy is to be whatever you want it to be.
I will probably spend some more time doing more research and figuring out where this is, because I realize that they're numbered and that corresponds to some item on DM's Guild, so I can find it that way. I'm sorry, again, I did not due diligence as much as I usually do for this week's stuff. Apologies.
Okay. You woke up you woke up and you found you had no power. A lot was going on. All right, let's just put it bluntly.
I don't know what the scale of this one is supposed to be though, because the Fey, like the one that's clearly the Feywild, seems like it's at normal scale, but then the one in what I'm guessing is the material plane definitely seems like the trees may be normal scale, but nothing else is.
Well, I think though, looking at them, kind of looking at them side by side,
Can I do?
I'm kind of thinking of it more along the lines of the less colorful one is a zoomed out, is your obviously your zoomed out map of
Yeah,
the
it's like your
area.
world map sort of deal.
And this larger, like this picture with the fountain and everything, it's a specific point hidden on that map that bleeds off the map.
Oh.
Like, and what you're looking for is obviously this unicorn. You know, your party is tasked with finding a unicorn that can only be found at night. Find this. How many times have we played like old school like PC games or like like RPG games where all you have is like a picture of the area, and that's exactly how you're supposed to find it on the map in these like open world games. I hate it and love it, trust me. But they just like hand that to you and they just go, good luck. Good luck. Find this exact point. I think this is what you do to your players here.
And the
that's
fact
your
that like
that's
the
your
the boring version says small farm and it's unnamed definitely gives me like you're the chosen one and don't know it vibes. So yes, I'm going for that unicorn. I will find them.
I
Don't
like
worry.
the boring one better.
boring one has
And-
flavor to it in its own
And
way.
also,
Yeah.
am I the only one that's going to interpret the other one that's a giant unicorn?
Ooh, it
okay.
could be. It very well could. Oh, like a kaiju corn?
And it's
kaiju-
Yeah, it's
also
like bigger than the farm.
a non-literal map, and that's the area where the unicorn is, maybe.
like old sea maps
I like
where they would
Yes,
draw those
exactly.
those hyper
The map is not the
exaggerated.
territory.
The kaiju corn is Awa's daddy.
Oh my god.
I'm going big unicorn in my interpretation.
I like that.
I could live with a big unicorn. I could live with a big unicorn.
Especially if you're doing stuff like Heliana's Guide, where like you can go hunt big monsters, a la Shadow of the Colossus, and like try to get pieces of them and absorb some of their essence. You're just climbing on kaiju corn over here.
There you go. You have to find your way into the black light area, and you do that by going through the waterfall, and you come out into the back room of the video store, and there's a giant unicorn.
Oh.
I love everything
Oh.
you just said.
Oh. Now that is amazing. That I support this.
Oh, I love everything you just said. Oh, it's fantastic. Even that like the flower that's in the bottom right on kaiju corns looks like almost like a lotus blossom about to open. Like that just gives me, it makes me think of like the flower for Ultimate Tsukuyomi. Like in Naruto, when they put the flower bulb on the moon and then they can reflect their eyes and hypnotize everyone. I realize that not everyone would be able to see it, but it's an anime. Like weird stuff's happening here. Maybe that's where that's the flower kaiju corn goes and like drinks the nectar from every day. So that's where you want to find the flower, and you'll find kaiju corn eventually.
I could see this. There's just
Lair
so
of
much.
big unicorn.
The layer of big. Where are we going? The layer of the giant unicorn. What? Yeah, it's just in this area.
If you're running the originally, I was thinking if it was normal size, this could be part of the ending to, or maybe the middle of. If you're running the 2024 rules, like playtest is helping the kids from the D&D cartoon meet up with Uni who got kidnapped. But I like Kaiju Corn way better than the 2024 rules playtest.
So I don't believe in the 2024 playtest. Quite personally, it can't hurt me because I don't believe in it.
Oh, your Kieran is like Goliath sized. I guess that tracks. Doors are pretty big too.
Again?
What was that?
Can I see the boring map again?
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's boring. I'm just... So we're all on
No,
the
I
same
love.
page.
I appreciate the terrorists. Like, can show me the boring map.
Definitely run a little adventure here, right? Everyone starts in, or like, small farm, and there's the crater there. There's the waterfall. Check everything out. Oh, you're through the waterfall into Narnia, Blacklight Narnia.
Blacklight Narnia!
Blacklight Narnia.
Yes!
Welcome to
Go to
Blacklight
Blacklight Narnia!
You have to get wet to go in, so you have to go through the waterfall.
You gotta get wet to go to Blacklight
You gotta be
Narnia. Oh,
covered
God.
while you're standing around, your socks have to be
That
wet.
is not for children.
No, I don't mean it like I mean it like when you're on a hike and you get wet and it's like, oh, this stinks. I'm gonna be wet all day.
Wet socks.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna absolutely be trapped in like soggy clothes as you travel through Blacklight Narnia. I'm officially just dubbing it Blacklight Narnia.
Yeah, Blacklight. I guess one of us is running a 1 to 3 shot through Blacklight Narnia.
You could make a nice little adventure out of Blacklight Narnia here.
I think Blacklight Narnia is our next shirt.
Yes. It's just a giant unicorn's face. It's so close.
It's Aslan with it's just like
Aslan.
It's Timu Aslan with the black light like combing over the forest and the unicorn's just shrugging in the corner. Just
No, not
He has
Aslan.
the EDM glasses.
Fawn, Mr. Tumnus.
oh,
Oh, yeah,
Tumnus.
he has the EDM glasses.
Oh shit!
Oh, this is fantastic.
I have to check if that's in the public domain yet.
We just need you know what? If he's not, satyrs sure the hell are. We just need unnamed satyr with glasses.
Well, yeah, but we can't call it Blacklight Narnia.
True.
Damn.
What if the N was lowercase? I'm just kidding.
We were thinking the name of the character. I was gonna be like, well, then he can just be like Tister Bumness. It's fine.
Tister Bumness seems awful similar. Yeah, but it's not. It's like that. What are we using? The Vanilla Ice, Bohemian Rhapsody, the Vanilla Ice defense. It's not dun 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 dun. It's dun 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 dun. It's that that makes it different. That's our defense at all times. Where the
I'm for sure naming a character Tister Bumness.
Tister Bumness. Make him a bard, and he's just the. That's all he makes noise for.
Oh my god.
Maybe
On
he'll
that note-
be Hip Bursitis' brother.
Oh dear. I gotta go, guys. So I'll see you next time.
No problem.
This is the perfect time to leave. Night.
Good night, DM Lacara.
Did you have
That's
another map,
true.
or was this?
You would. Oh, okay. So the last map for tonight actually came from a meme, but I was like, yo, this works because I definitely don't have a link for this, but I'm gonna guess it came from Meme Base at some point. But it's a suggestion. If you ever have to completely improvise a mega dungeon in a pinch, just go look at a store directory for a mall. And I was like, what?
Prismatic Wasteland is a good source, and this is legit. I totally agree with this. Keep going. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, and they're like, oh, if it has multiple floors, it's even better. And I was like, bro, this absolutely
Yeah.
blew my mind. This is
Yeah.
100% true.
Yo, what?
Definitely. I definitely agree. It's good. And then each of the colored zones is like you put a different faction in there. Come on, it's already done.
Oh my god, I was thinking, oh, there's different yes, I was thinking different elementals for the pictures, or maybe there's different kinds of traps, but different factions hang out in the same mega dungeon. Yes.
But yeah, it's how they've all survived. If you need an idea for them, don't keep it to this typical fantasy. Just keep them survivalists. They've managed to survive in peace. The pink zone is literally the neutral zone. The blue zone, or the purple zone, no one ventures into. The elves live in the green, the dwarves in the yellow, the red is the goblins, and they're just peaceful enough. You know what I mean? Or maybe the humans live in the red or the blue. You know what I mean? And it's just that's how the mall's divvied up.
In some past editions, you would roll when you made a dungeon. You could roll to stock it, and there was things built into the stat block. Like the stat block told you how many of each monster would be in like an encounter of them. So, for instance, goat-headed beastmen show up in 3d10 patterns.
Oh.
So you would roll 3d10, and that would be like, okay, there's a room of these goat-headed beastmen. They show up in 3d10. There's 3d10 of them in here. And then if some of them had a percent, when you would roll it, you would roll to see if it's their lair. And if it's their lair, you could add more of them. Like you could roll up to 5 times as many, and you would just give them more and more treasure to make it worth it, right? And so if it's a lair, they would probably take over more than just the one room. It's not like you would open and the dining room would have 15d10 goat-headed beastmen in it. Instead, you would, all the other monster rooms around, you would sort of combine together as those are also ghost-headed beastmen, and you would fill out your 5d10 or 15d10 or whatever it is, because now it's a lair, so you have more of them. And yeah, so this is perfect because everything's color coordinated. You have your goblin lair as, I forgot what you said, but green, right, for goblins, and they have however many are in there. It's faction play, right? You ally with the goblins or you fight the goblins or whatever. It's good stuff. You could totally use this.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to rant about
No,
Encounter.
don't.
No.
That's what we want. More.
Literally. Yeah, no, this is the shit that keeps me going.
I would love to do more faction play. In general, have standings with other people and run them that way.
Yeah,
I think that's fun.
I do too. That's a big part of the game when it first came around, was allying with different factions, and who else did that piss off. That's why those games like Fallout and shit have it, because that's how they were playing their D&D games. They were
that makes
having
sense.
all these actions affect the factions, and then you it's very cool. I wish I did more of it myself. It's awesome.
Well, there was also a lot of disapproval amongst like, and I get that they tried to move away from it, for the socio-political reasons, I guess you could call it, of like how dwarves and elves weren't necessarily the best of friends. Like nowadays in classic in D&D, all the different creature classes and what are they now? Species, as they're
Yeah.
called. They're not called races anymore. They're species now. All the different species of creature that exist are all like best friends, but that wasn't always the case.
Or
And I get.
it's presented
Oh,
in
go
a
ahead.
way in which they could be. They're not telling you
Yeah,
that they're not.
yeah. But I think that the typical idea that, oh, everybody's biffers. You know what I mean? Like we all get along in a
Mhm.
happy-go-lucky super society. And I think that while you don't need to lean into it heavily, I think there was some fun where it was just kind of like some older games did alignment based on like which classes or which creature races you used to like make your classes, where they
Mhm.
were like, oh, well, I'm less aligned with this race because this race and my race have history going back to like, elves and dwarves have history going back where they weren't the best of friends,
Mm.
and or like halflings and dwarves have certain history based on like belief systems about how they're both short and how people view them and stuff like that. Like
Mm.
halflings and gnomes don't get along because people confuse them for one another. You
Oh,
could you
that
could
makes
throw
sense
those kind
too.
of things in there, and it doesn't have to be malicious, but it's story beats that would form, I think, around factions and different factions of creatures and how they interact. And maybe even affect the way you barter with certain, if you keep a simple D6 roll for interaction with an NPC or a D, what is it, 2D6, I think
2d6.
is the other way to do it, yeah, where you have a
Very
range of
common
how
way.
they're gonna yeah,
Powered by
where
the
it's a range.
apocalypse.
Yep, Howard does it a lot. You can kind of have those little mini modifiers of +2 or -2 just slid in there based on, you know peace between the races or peace
Hmm.
between the creature factions, or however you want to do it.
It's also a really
And
good chance, if you like, to focus on language in your game. I really like focusing on languages and using languages that people don't know or might not know,
Mm.
or randomly, whatever it is, using that language whether they know it or not. Um, and then you have factions where they might speak they might not speak common, whatever the common language is to your setting, and so one person gets to shine because they're the person who talks with them, and then that gives them a sort of relationship with that faction. And there's lots of good stuff with factions. I like factions. And they'll surprise you because like you'll have the goblin faction, and that's the faction that they're gonna ally with, probably.
Yeah.
mm,
And your players are leading like the goblin revolt against the surface humans.
In the campaign I run and the campaign I play in DM Bacons, both parties are starting a goblin revolution.
There you go.
In DM
that's
Bacon's campaign, uh, Koopy accidentally got the goblin like artificers and mechanics to unionize, and now anytime we run into goblins, he'll be like, "Did you hear about the union? You can get fair wages for your labor." And he
oh my
doesn't,
god.
as a character, like as a group, nobody knows how these goblins are going to get paid, but they're all part of the union now.
I love that.
I was laughing at the not being racist because if your character Nails is all black, like just obsidian looking, and
Mhm.
he scared a bunch of people in the woods, so an elemental came after the group and he attacked Grimjack's character, who's like a black guy. And he's like, they're like, why are you fighting us? And Grimjack can't speak any of the elemental languages, but Valley Vegeria's character can. So she was like talking to this elemental, and she's like, "Why are you attacking us? What's wrong with you?" And he was like, "The Black Paladin attacked us. I'm only like looking for retribution." And the two of them at the table look at each other, and they both go, "Oh no, he's racist."
No. No. Oh no. Oh no. Beat him with a stick.
Factions do allow for that kind of, like groups that hate each other. Then you have to ally with one and stuff, right? We played Boot Hill for like 3 games, and there were some actual racists in it.
Yeah, that was different. That one that was weird because I feel like it evened out because I accidentally made my character heavily racially targetable.
That's also great.
But it was a fun time nonetheless.
It's not I think we had a disclaimer for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like,
we're playing the Wild West. Like, let's keep it civil. Like, let's have it implied without it being said. And we were like, got it. It was the implication of it. Yeah, it's like he doesn't like you. Huh. It's like, yeah, he really doesn't like you. Got it. Okay. I like Rocky Road and he likes Rum Raisin. Well, he doesn't like
me. Two sessions ago in my campaign, Valley Vegeria's character grabbed an ice gargoyle by the face and said she was going to rip out his teeth and use them as daggers. And they haven't seen him, and she meets up with him again, and he runs away. And she goes, "Why is he running away?" And I just look at her, and I'm like, What? You told him you were going to rip out his teeth and stab him with them. Would you not run away?
I wish they just told me that. I feel like they just wanted death for me. There was only one remedy to my being there. Me no longer being a member of the living. But I will say this to the point before we got completely off topic because we started a little later. But I will say the idea of using a local map as a dungeon, just shape wise, I've never thought of that a day in my life. And our generation grew up in malls looking at the directory trying to figure out where the hell we were going after.
Yeah.
Like, that was a dungeon as a kid. So turning that into a dungeon, that really is the perfect, like, oh, I only have a little bit of prep time for people. And you could 5-room dungeon it. It's just in a weird expanded way.
Yeah.
You could 5-section dungeon it.
You can, that's important to say too, that you can, if 5-room dungeon could be a 15-room dungeon, you just do it 3 times in a row and you make them like different areas, right? Like the Goblin Lair, the green gets its own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The orange gets its own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The purple gets its own, and then boom, you got a expansive dungeon that takes a few sessions to get through. You can sort of.
And the 5-room doesn't have to be exactly the same shape, same size, same scenario idea in each room. That's the beauty of it.
Freaking search it up on YouTube after this. 5-room dungeon, find your favorite person talking about it, and they will go into different examples and like how you can vary it and how it's not really like always room 1 is the entrance, always room 2 is the puzzle, and it's like it doesn't have to always be in a linear fashion. You can one of the, I don't know, an often talked about aspect of good dungeon design is something called jaquaising, which is named after Janelle Jaquays, the late dungeon designer
Hmm.
that did this thing, or is known for doing this thing. I don't know if she invented it, but it's basically when there's multiple routes to get to one area. So nothing is linear. You don't just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, things connect, so you can take other routes to stuff. And the really good Jaquazing does it vertically too. So there's multiple, well, not only vertically,
Oh.
so like multiple paths to down levels and up levels, but also multiple entrances into the dungeon. So you could easily
Yeah.
do a 5-room dungeon of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know what I mean? And sort of those are your two entrances to the dungeon, making up this one level, two different distinct areas. You know, one is the flooded area, and the other area is the crypts.
So
And
you guys, so they experienced it when they ran through Gardena. I didn't realize it was called Jaquazing, so you just taught me something. But
Yeah.
I use that idea of multiple entrances and exits for my own dungeon underneath the city, which is just a sewer. It's a mega dungeon of a sewer, but the idea is that it leads out to. It's not so much a dungeon as it is also like a transport. People can go through various places through the dungeon if you know how to get to places, and things aren't as easily connected as they seem. So I love that.
yeah, that multiple entrances, multiple ways up and down, and that doesn't mean like, you know, 4 stairwells. It can mean like one stairwell, one hole, one crack in the ground. You know, like one old elevator shaft that uses a technology that no longer works. You know, whatever it is that is appropriate for your dungeon, you do all that shit, and
No.
count to 5 a bunch of times.
Yeah. Also, when you said your local mall, all I was thinking was like, how cool would it be if you played D&D with like all your regular, well, like your friends that you've had since you were little, and like maybe your mall is closed, like the Galleria in White Plains is gone,
I was gonna say the
and I'm
Galleria.
like, what if I use the map from the Galleria, and as my friends are playing, the way I'm describing it or what have you, like just the layout, they're like, wait a minute,
Two things.
is this
That's
the
your Dark
Galleria?
Sun or Gamma World game.
Yes, that's my dark side.
Oh!
Dark Sun is like really like spoiler alert, sorry, but it's Earth, right? In the far future.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and also Gamma
That
World
is the
is,
ultimate reveal of dark side.
Gamma World is as well. The very first like intro adventure they suggest in the like box set for Gamma World is like Pittsburgh is the name of a city. Definitely Pittsburgh.
Last stand at the hot topic. I hate you, Fist.
Like
You
the
could
sprinter with
absolutely do.
dry
It's great.
fountain,
Oh my god, the
and
dried
that's
up
where the
fountain.
throne is.
Oh, the two bases are the Westchester and the
I was thinking
Galleria.
when you said the dry fountain, all I was thinking of like post-apocalyptic, the Westchester, the horse statue, like in the fountain. All that's left is like the haunches and the balls, and people like walk around and they're like, oh, what? The people of the past worshipped this creature's balls. We don't know why.
I'm just imagining that the old White Plains Mall has turned into a floating mega tower. It's just a pit, and you can't see it, but you have to unlock flight somehow, some way to get to the old DMV
Oh my god.
where the final boss lives. The old DMV.
I claim
But
this Sam Goody for the Lord.
uh,
Because they're huge. Sorry, I cut you off.
but I no, I was to say, but this is truly the coolest way I think I've seen as like a GM hack, because I think we all panic sometimes when it's just like, oh shit, I need a dungeon. Oh, I don't want to draw up a dungeon.
What about
Literally, What's that?
What about?
Yes.
Use what about?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how to say it. That's what am I saying it wrong? Have you ever seen this? What about? What WATABOU?
No, what is that? Teach me.
Wadaboo?
What about? What a boo?
Oh, one page. Yes, I have seen this one.
Yeah. Click it. Run generator. Dude, I use this to generate like starting ideas for maps all the time, and you can like left click and like tune it up with
What's
tags.
this?
Like I
Oh.
I might do like multi-level to get something that is multi-level. Anyway, I make a lot of dungeons that never see the light of day. One page dungeon in the middle there. Click that. Oh, dwellings? I gotta check out dwellings one day.
Oh, this is not the same one we used. What's the one we used, Shin? Oh, this has like directions for the rooms too. That's cool.
Yeah, you can like edit them too. So
the one that I use a lot is
Is it Donjon?
God. Donjon, yeah.
Donjon's great as well, yeah.
I love Donjon.
When we did tools, we used Donjon for a whole bunch of stuff.
Great. There's so much shit on Donjon.
But what about I'm okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna I will put links in the description for Whataboo and Donjon, and I'll link to there'll probably be a card that appears like right now to take you to our tools episode. Oh, but speaking of other episodes, we're gonna put up the poll now. If you're new to DM Roundtable, the way the poll works is we put up a poll with topics for next week's stream. It lasts for 24 hours, so even if you're just watching the VOD, if you're still within the 24 hours, put them in the comments, hit us up in the Discord, ping one of us on Twitter, however you want to get the answer to us. But there's a poll that runs on Twitch for 10 minutes, and then on YouTube I'm leaving in the comments what next week's topics are, or next week's potential topics are. And you can just leave a comment on what you would like to watch, and all your votes get logged now. At the beginning we used to do the community has one vote and all the DMs have one vote, but you guys are awesome and you're the reason we're here, so all the community votes count separately.
True.
You
It's
guys made
true.
me cry today. You didn't have to do that.
No, we did. I'm glad they did. You deserve to cry. Let them cry. You need some tears sometimes.
And they're not even for fears, so it's better. But the topics, the possible topics, are adventures, articles, homework. So, okay, homework is a weird one, but it is things that we would never be able to finish talking about in one stream. Like that's the gist of it. So it could be anything as long as there's a lot of crap there. But we will never exceed 5 episodes for anything ever again. That is the plan. Maybe actual plays, that won't be the plan for, but as far as topics go, we'll never exceed 5 streams of one thing ever again. 7 at the beginning was a bit much. We did get through it all, but we were also finding our groove. You should go learn about the Empowered if you want to hear people talk about their superhero D&D characters. But then the other 2 options are tools, which is funny that we're using Whataboo, and zines. Bloop. That poll will be up for the next 10 minutes, and we will still be here for the next 10 minutes because you can't leave during a poll. You also have to, if any of you happen to want to run polls on Twitch, you literally have to be watching the poll or it disappears, and then you have to go find. I figured out I can see the results to polls, but I have to go through like 17 context menus within my my stream dashboard to find it. And I'd rather not do that, so I just keep an eagle eye on the chat. Also, like when you're using the Fist was like when you're using the mall's map, you can use the names of stores to like give a guess as to what they are, or if it is the post-apocalypse, like what people think they are now. So he said, I claim this Sam Goody for the Lord, but I'd be like, oh, they probably don't know what a Sam Goody is, so it might be Sam Goody. And then he was like, the Tower of Records, and I was like, they think it's a library,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not.
Yeah.
There's so
That's
many
basically
things.
like what running Gamma World is.
Oh.
Is like hiding those little jokes in and making it your hometown and having the characters get like radiated and mutated.
Hmm.
We ended up having a big one of my players is playing a Verdin, and Verdin are supposed to mutate, but none of the books actually tell you what the mutations are. So our player found somebody was running basically a conversion of Fallout into 5e, and the player who was playing the Verdin was like, okay, how about we use these mutations? And we were talking about this over the weekend because I just kept the 3 tables that she took out of that other RPG. And then I went on there's a community Reddit post for Verdin mutations, and I went and fixed that up. So we have 400 options that she could possibly get as her mutations. And yesterday she said to me, not yesterday, what's today? Okay, 2 days ago, Saturday when we were playing our game, she was like, I assumed you were just going to take the best mutations off those lists. I didn't think you were just going to use the list. And then she goes, also, I didn't read the lists. And the rest of our group was like, clearly, or you wouldn't have eye stalks right now on your character.
Eye stalks are fun.
I think that though, when you have like chaotic misfires and spells, like in some older editions, where like, oh, you've messed up your spell. Guess what? You've got a frog arm, and stuff like that. And I miss it. So I'm just thinking of the eye stalks as, oh, you tried to use some powerful warlock stuff. Warlock patron isn't liking you right now. You got eye stalks, buddy. Good luck.
Sometimes it happens.
Good luck. Have fun.
However, Grimjack, he was like, "Can I see these lists?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can see the Fallout lists that we use." And he's skimming through them. He's like, "Oh my God, you can become Cyclops!" And everyone at the table is like, "Here we go! You can fire beams out of your eye." Here, okay, he's just gonna talk about Cyclops for like the next 45 minutes, and he did.
He's never gonna mutate, so
Mm-mm.
so I don't know why he's so excited. He's already the son of Sparta, and he
Yeah.
doesn't even fly. So I
Yeah,
don't know what
they
more
were making
power
fun
up
of
you're gonna
him. They were making fun of him last session. They're currently erstwhile trapped in the Frostfell, and they've discovered that Nara's character's grandpa has become a popsicle. It has finally happened. The popsicle has finally happened. And they're fighting all these dudes who have so much health, and they're taking so long to kill, and they don't know when they're going to make it out alive. And Grimjack starts complaining that he can't do anything because it's his job to heal, even though as a crew they have like everybody has some method of healing. It's not just him. So he's
But
like,
also the rule in 5e is have a way to heal yourself.
yeah,
That's just
everybody
the
in this crew.
common rule of 5e.
So he's like,
Tabletop in general.
yeah,
Just have a way to bring somebody back to life.
yeah.
Or if you can, at 0 HP.
And we adopted half of the rules for 2024 for Lay on Hands, where he can just heal through bonus action now. So he can bonus action and action. He's like, I still can't do anything. And we're like, also, you could transform. And I go, did you know you're level 8, which means you can sin Devil Trigger according to your race. You can cast haste on yourself if you really want to do stuff. And he's like, nah, I'm saving it. And they're like, for what?
Okay.
And he goes, for when I need it. And they're like, as a group, we're like, you have so many things on your sheet that you've literally never done. We don't know what you're saving them for. It's not like potions when you're playing an RPG and you have like a whole inventory full of them either. He has like character features he's never used.
But I think that's part of. Yeah, I'll leave on this note. I should get ready to go. I think that's part of the problem with some editions and character sheet bloat.
Mm.
Like, if I give you a bunch of options to use, the idea is for my player to use them. However, my player looks at them and instantly gets analysis paralysis every time. Well, then maybe I need to find better ways to call to it. Or, in my opinion, my player needs to realize that their sheet has options, but so does their brain.
Mm.
And if you combine the two, you have the full adventure. And I want them to use that brain of theirs.
Those big, meaty brains.
Like if I tell you that the creatures seem oily, and you look at your sheet and you realize I have a way to light things on fire, it might be worthwhile to try and see if you light it on fire. You know, because you know that oil and fire don't always mix well. Think about it.
Think,
Interact
Mark.
with the world.
Think.
Interact with the world around you. You might find something, or shit on the corpses of the dead. Always down to drop heat on the defeated.
Dropping heat on the deceased, and then as you're crouched over the hole, that's when they take the magical picture. That's your rap album cover. Teabag the fallen.
Oh God, Erdang secretly teabagging.
He's a friar.
He is a friar. He's a holy. That's true. He's a holy man. He really shouldn't be. He's really trying to pray over their deceased souls. I'm telling you. It just so happens to look like he's, dropping the most fire album of 2025. But and on that note, I do have to say it. I bid everyone adieu as I get ready. And,
I'm gonna put in a vote
Okay.
for adventures.
thank
I see them
you
coming in.
for having us as always.
Thank you guys
And
for
Clubs,
being
thank
here.
you for showing up.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
I said thank you for coming.
He
Oh,
said,
yeah,
I'm
for having me.
sorry.
I didn't hear.
We love you. You're more than welcome to come anytime. You're always welcome, man.
Oh, thank you.
And definitely dope that you got to share the 5-minute the 5
Yes.
dungeon rules. I think that is
Yo.
like
Search it on YouTube. I'm telling you. I'm going to say it for the third time.
you
You'll
heard
find
it
good
here,
advice.
Hey,
Go
Lance, thanks for coming. We'll be here to shame you later into coming back.
It's true. Once you show up once, it's just like, so when are they coming back? We like them. We like them.
Thank you
Maybe
for
since
having
you're
me.
here, we can get Bacon to come back.
Hey, it's worth a shot.
Oh shit, that would be magical. Bacon and Clubs in the same episode, and then we have to talk about something truly in the truest neutral sense of system agnostic, and I'm down for it.
What?
I feel like I don't know. We have to maybe maybe that's the episode we finally rip apart like mechanics of things. I don't know. I can wax poetic on how much I hate 5e's initiative system, and how I think everyone should just go on the same turn at the same time for enemies and allies.
It's per side initiative.
Yeah, per side initiative.
I'm a very big fan of per side initiative. Per side per round.
Per side per round is fair.
Hmm.
I do per side per round myself now. I've adapted and adopted the per side per round.
I've
It's
started asking my players. Okay, so in my campaign, my players got into an argument with me a while back about how this was after you left, yes, about how they don't like that I haven't given them initiative numbers for every single enemy if they have one thing different about them, even if they're the same kind of enemy. So now we have to roll initiative for every kind of enemy that might be different, and that makes initiative a monster hassle. So I keep trying to be like, how about we just do the per side thing, and you guys can choose one roll amongst yourselves. I'll choose one roll amongst enemies, and we'll just get them done. They're like, no, I need to be ahead of everyone else. I'm like, well, you're obviously not going to be because there's all of you.
Yeah, I like per side. You know what else I really like? When in big groups, I've always liked the idea of doing like a saving throw, or basically a pass fail against one number, whether so you're not
Oh.
rolling for the monsters. The monsters are gonna beat you unless you beat this number, right? You don't roll for the
Ooh.
monster. It's player facing only. So it's combat time. All of you guys make your save or roll your initiative or whatever roll you have them do, and you either pass fail. If you pass, you go before all the monsters or whoever it is. If you fail, you go after.
I like that too. That's a cool one too.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that, and I like I use like my game system for Cardinal. I got rid of the saves being more than just what your stat is. I kind of like simplifying it to saves being just a check versus. I really like that. It's like, hey, what's my save? Well, what's my mind save, which would be just like for anything magical. Well, what's your mind score? Equal to or under. Because I think that equal to or under is really great for people who have high numbers, because there's just a great chance of you always succeeding. Or sometimes if I'm still tweaking with it. That might sometimes need to be equal to or over. But I think that can be a little more difficult if like you've got a 16 and you roll and you get a 12. It's like you fail. It's like, no, you should succeed. I think on that one. I keep my D100. I keep
equal or over.
Yeah. For a save though.
And then you would get better. It would go lower.
You would have to have a scaling down. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
Well, that
how
would
it
be
is
the
in the
old.
game we play.
That's
Saves
true. That's
start
true.
high and go down.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But since I don't have any reduction in saves right now on my system, or any way to add it, or real modifiers based on stat scores, I opted not to do that.
Yeah, it's very common.
Maybe.
People that are trying to make rules lighter games don't always have a score and a mod. They just have one. You either have a score or a mod.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I like just having the score and not the mod myself.
Yeah.
I also like your save suggestion for initiative, like 2024 rules on creatures. If it's a creature that they think would actually be going before the party, because a lot of times, even if this creature's super fast in 2014 rules for 5e, like your party is probably going to beat them anyway. There's a very high chance that they will. So 2024 rules, they were like, oh, in order to make it seem like these creatures who should be going first are going first, we're just going to give them a random initiative modifier of like plus 23. And I'm like, so why? It would have been cool if it was a save. Like, I have no chance of beating them.
I like the idea of doing the save. That's a really good one, especially with a big group. I roll per side, so every round I roll for the NPCs, and one player rolls one die for the whole players. And, but the save version is very fast. You make it or you don't, and it's really simple. You just, initiative bonus. If you got a magic item that gives you like a bonus to initiative, that's just like you're making your deck save and you get that bonus to the deck save, right? Because this is an initiative deck save, right? And you can still have people have unique bonuses for things because they can apply it to their deck save, but you might have some people fail it sometimes, and that's fun. Not
Yeah.
everyone always makes it. So I like it. It's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
I also really like player-facing things. So even though I just said I don't do that for initiative, I don't roll attack rolls for monsters or NPCs. They automatically hit, and the player has to roll a defense roll to avoid it. So instead of having an AC score, they have a defense bonus or mod.
The
they
Dark
roll
Souls RPG is like that. I don't think the
Yeah.
Elden Ring is, but the Dark Souls one is.
I really like player-facing things where it's like you're gonna get hit unless you defend, versus me rolling. This monster swings at you and misses. My monsters don't ever miss. You just defend. But it's the same math. It works out exactly the same mathematically.
Yeah, you still have the same chance to be hit or to not, or to or
The
to
fiction
be
changes, not the mechanic kind of.
It's definitely interesting to get used to. I found that for my game, the big change that I made, and actually with your help, Vin, was to a overall reduction roll on damage. So basically, your armor rating sits between a range of numbers, and depending on what your range of numbers is, depends on what dice you roll to reduce damage when it's taken. And you just go from there, because I realized that super reduction in the way I had it was gonna get a little wonky. So now it's a little more harrowing, but still rewarding. It's still rewarding. I didn't have to super tweak numbers for this. It allowed me to keep my numbers within a sensible range while simultaneously giving more peril to being hit.
Mm-hmm. It's a little harder for you. You're like fine tuning the numbers. For me, I have an existing system that I've adapted to this other way. So like I know what the numbers are supposed to be. If someone has a 12 AC, I know I can cheat and be like, a 12 AC is always a +2 defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know what it's supposed to work out to. Versus you, who are fine tuning the math of something, so it's a little more open ended. Like I don't exactly know the accuracy of this on the game at this point, but like 2014 5e was built where with banded accuracy. You ever hear that term? Where for the most part players are rolling with a 40 to 60% chance of doing the things that they're good, like better than average to good at. So the math will, as enemy AC gets higher and higher, your attack gets higher and higher, and so it still keeps you in that 40 to 60% range, because that's like mathematically where they think it feels the best to be rolling in. If you're rolling like a 25% chance of doing something, they're like, that feels bad, no one wants to do that. So let's keep it in between 40 to 60.
I'm laughing because Fist was like, you have XCOM monsters, and that 25% chance. I'm like, I mean that's also XCOM.
Yeah, or the 95% chance that really means like 5%.
Yeah, 95% missed every time. You son of a bitch.
99% miss is just crazy.
I love me some XCOM. But
I do love it.
it's such a good game. Such a good game. I gotta play Chimera Squad though. I don't even think I've finished playing 2. Okay, I gotta play 2 and then Chimera Squad.
Well, I gotta get going. Thank you guys for talking or letting me talk to you guys about this stuff.
Yeah, thank you for coming, and you're welcome every Monday, for the foreseeable future. We did this a year. I think we can keep going.
Oh, congrats on a year.
Thanks, man.
Well, take care.
Bye. And actually, bye to everybody else too, because the poll is over. But if you are watching this VOD either on YouTube or Twitch, and it's within the it's within the next 24 hours, hit us up on the Discord, leave a comment on the YouTube VOD, and we will add your votes to the poll. I will also sneak peek something. Actually, will it be a sneak peek? I have to do the math. Bye, robot.
I think people got the premium episode this week though with us in super overtime. I blame the hype train.
Yeah.
Okay, I thank the hype train. Thank you to everybody that showed up this week. Awaz, Dex, Fist, Grimbo, when you're here, all of you guys, amazing. We love you guys for being here. And Okami, you know I love you for having me, the Lacara, Clubs, and Speedy, Bacon and Dungeon Mommy, and all the rest of us that have come and gone through the annals of the channel. That sounded really cool to say out loud.
That did, it did. We got to make something for annals of the channel now. Writing the notes, the annals of the channel. That's the lore that's being passed down
at all times. But it's always great to me to be able to do these things, and thank you for having us here to be able to do them, because we enjoy doing them.
Thank you guys for coming and believing in stuff.
If you couldn't tell.
I love you guys. I love all you guys too out there.
And we love you too.
You're amazing. I'll be back tomorrow as long as another telephone pole doesn't fall down for more Horizon Forbidden West.
I will be where I always am, tucked away at work for far too many hours before running home to vigorously type up stuff on my computer. And again, I throw out there again at the end of this, if you are interested in playing in the first run and campaign of Cardna, and joining DM Lacara, DM Okami, the resident bard, and DM Speedy, along with some other people, including hopefully Awaz and a few other people, hit me up. There's still time. I am going to be kind of closing the doors to things the first week of August. So you have until the first, I guess, end of the first DM Roundtable episode in August. I figure that's enough time for people.
That makes sense.
It gives you 2 whole months. So that way I know who's coming and I can set up things and get things put together. Because it'll probably take me a good month. It'll probably take me a good month to prep Session Campaign 0, which everyone will be running through the starting city that everyone's going to have to run to, which is Arcanum, the first one. I've decided that's just everybody's first island, regardless.
I like it.
For now, at least. Tutorial island. Until I make a tutorial island. I could make a mini tutorial island, couldn't I? Maybe.
Things to think about.
Anywho. Yeah, seriously. No, don't give me more things to think about. That's part of the problem. I have too many things to think about. I need to limit the things. But anywho, Okami, what else have you got for them this week? Where else can they find you besides tomorrow? Anything else coming up for you on the interwebs? Any video postings? Any new?
Yesterday, my delving into your DMs on Legendary and Lair actions came out. If you want a view into like me personally, how I didn't realize when I first started DMing that legendary and lair actions are like, they're not necessarily there to show off how cool this guy is. Like, it doesn't mean the monster's legendary. It's more there because the monsters need action economy. They need to be able to do something before your party beats the absolute tar out of them. So I got that video, came out yesterday, and the poll just ended on the Discord for this month's thank you stream. I have to tally the votes from the YouTube version of the stream, but that will be decided pretty much momentarily. I just got to go do the math. So I'll make a little post on both YouTube and the Discord momentarily about who won that poll. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Rivals again, though. Not that we haven't been having fun. We've been having a lot of fun playing Rivals, so I'm not upset about it. But I'm pretty sure it won again.
It probably did. It probably did. Who knows? Maybe I'll actually join this month for Rivals.
Yes, the more the merrier.
I make no full promises, but there's a chance that I could actually join this month for Rivals. So.
Yes. We might actually get to play on Sunday this month too. I don't think anything's happening at the end of the month.
Oh.
So I'm like,
wow.
I think so.
Oh, then the chances of me appearing increase.
Yes.
The chances of me appearing increase.
But thank you all for coming. Thank you guys so much for all the gift subs and hanging out with us. And come hang out with us some more on the Discord, man. Come on in and talk about tabletop games. Come on in and talk about, we've been having a pretty lively conversation about 40k and Warhammer in general lately too, so come and chat with us about that if you play those kind of war games too. But
Talk about it all.
We will see you next week. Put in your votes if you haven't yet. Come to the Discord, leave them on this VOD. Okay, bye. Love you all. Bye. I'll see you in a second, AWAS, anyway. Bye.